All right, he is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, entering his 8th season as such. Joining us on the Rich Eisen Show is none other than Sean McDermott. How you doing, Sean?
We're doing great. Rich, how are you?
I'm doing great, too. What phase are we in? Where are you? What are we doing today? What's going on?
That's a great question. I ask myself the same question every morning I wake up. Where am I? What's today? We're in the OTA phase, phase 3 of our off-season program.
Yeah.
I've had great attendance, great weather here in Buffalo, and looking forward to getting outside to practice today.
Yeah. So, what are you thinking about as you're entering June, right, of a playing season? A couple months from now.
Well, we're just we're trying to put together the pieces, really. I mean, I think every year you start fresh, and every year you start with call it a scattered jigsaw puzzle, and you're just trying to see what pieces you have and how those pieces may fit together the best, and try and keep it simple.
Yeah, I'm sure. It helps to have a unicorn at quarterback too, right? That helps to have that puzzle piece on the table already.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, everyone's looking for that, and we're fortunate that we have a player and a person like Josh Allen to lead our organization here.
Did you just finish a workout? I got to ask that question because you got that towel, you're wiping your brow.
Yeah, I was just boxing. I just kind of
just got out of the ring. Actually, that sounds like a playing season to me. A coach feels like he just got out of the ring. That sounds like
that's what happens to us. We go through the season and we get beat up along the way, and once in a while you need a towel or a towel, man, just to wipe the sweat off your brow.
Just a nice summer day there in Buffalo, in Western New York. Maybe that's what it is. So what is it like talking to Josh Allen, talking ball with him? Now that he is Josh Allen, what is he like?
No, I mean, anytime you can be around, first of all, a person like Josh, and secondly, a talent like Josh, it's high level stuff. I mean, you've got to come in and be prepared, whether you're the head coach, the coordinator, or the position coach, and I've found over the years to continue to take players like Josh to the highest level you can. You've got to be on your A game, and that's what he looks for and expects out of us as a staff, and then we expect the same from him as a player.
Obviously, you've been around a lot of quarterbacks. You try to put a lot of quarterbacks on their behinds in your previous roles, and obviously currently now. When did you realize first that he was different than others? When was that first moment?
Sean? You know what? Honestly, Rich, it was probably before we drafted him. Just through that process, really watching a little bit of film in 2017 during our season of, who were the quarterback prospects out there in that draft class that year, and Josh was on our radar, and you watched him, you got a feel for how he played the game, and right away you saw the competitive fire. You certainly saw the arm strength, but you also saw a guy that his team likes to be around, and those are the three things that really jumped off the film.
Is there what about eye test? When was the first time you saw him throw in person then? When was that one?
Yeah, so we went out, Brandon, myself, ownership. We went out to Montana to work him out in the lead up to the draft there, and that workout, honestly, I was hoping he'd still be around when we picked, knowing that we were going to try and position ourselves to move up. You just didn't know how other people saw him or valued him, and we're fortunate that we were able to get him.
Sean McDermott here on the Rich Eisen Show. And now, obviously, you take a look at the wide receiver room, and there's a lot of new names in there, Coach, a ton of them. And, I heard, I guess, Khalil Shakir say that Joe Brady is using a phrase that everybody eats. What does that mean, everybody eats, Sean? What does that mean?
That's on Sunday, this past Sunday, coming off the Memorial Day Memorial Day weekend into Monday. I think it was actually Monday, Memorial Day itself. Matt Collins, one of our receivers in that room, sends me a text Sunday evening, and I'm thinking, okay, well, as life comes up for some of these guys this time of year, maybe his flight got canceled coming back to Buffalo, what have you. No, it's a picture of a snake eating, and one of his snakes, in terms of one of his pets he has at home, eating its prey, and he says everybody eats on it. So it was a it was a different way of saying it,
Yes.
but that's the life that we live, right? That's the life of a head coach. So happy Memorial Day to everyone.
So so that's his way of. So everybody eats, meaning the opposition is going to be consumed by your offense. Is that, I'm just trying to, is that what that means?
Yeah. No, your guess is as good as mine. I just roll with it, right? That's what we do.
What'd you respond? Did you give the thumbs up emoji? You just what you did, like, hey, thumbs up to that, you know?
Yeah, I said, hey, really cool, man. That's awesome.
That works. That might suffice. Because I guess, again, that's what everybody, certainly in my chair and probably Bill's Mafia, is trying to figure out, is how this is going to look right now.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, that's the case this time of year, almost every season. But I get it. We don't, maybe have the names that people are looking for, or have what some people would say is a true number one receiver. So listen, we are where we're at in terms of place and time, schedule, calendar. It's beginning of June in this case, almost end of May, right? So we're trying to, like I said, get a feel for what we have, and then put them in positions to help bring it all together.
So when you say Mac Hollins is sending you a photograph of, I guess, whatever Darwinism is happening in his pet cage or whatever at home, I'm mandated to ask you if Keon Coleman has sent you any photographs or texts or any memes, because that kid seems to have a very unique perspective on life, Coach.
Yeah, very active personality. But I'll say this, I think a lot of people see that because of the access, right, in the social media.
Yes.
And he does have a very lively personality day to day. But what I really appreciate in this short amount of time we've been together is how important football is to him, how important being a good teammate is to him, and the respect level he came in with for the building, for his teammates. Really been cool to watch.
The thing I've picked up from it, obviously, him talking about his coats and asking if he can have the snacks on the side of the press conference room. The thing I've taken from it, though, is that he seems comfortable being himself, and he seems like just like a normal, good dude who happens to be insanely talented at the wide receiver position, and that counts for something. That's what I took from it.
I would say you're spot on. I mean, when you watch just how he handles his business, rather self-assured in this unpredictable first few weeks, first year of a rookie NFL career. But again, I think it comes from his focus on what his goal is, what the team's goals are, and then also the way Josh has reached out to him and really tried to develop a good relationship early on here with him.
Bills head coach Sean McDermott here on the Rich Eisen Show. So we just talked to Keon Coleman. He was the first pick of the second night. It was your first draft choice after 2 trade outs in the first round. Listen, every coach I know is a type A control freak. What is it like sitting in a draft room having 2 first-round choices traded, and you're waiting to see who you're going to get? Coach, what is that like for you?
Well, I think most coaches would tell you that that gets a little bit unnerving, right? Just from the standpoint of, we in the coaching end of things need players. Listen, we're all better. I think we're all better. We would all admit. I think the good coaches, at least the honest coaches, would say we're all better with better talent on our rosters, right? So,
right.
So yeah, I mean, you're watching good players go off the board, but there was a plan in place, and Brennan executed the plan, and Keon was there, and we were able to pick up some other picks along the way.
No doubt about it. So Keon was there, first pick of that night. I imagine, though, the phone was ringing like crazy. That is out of any draft choices in a draft, other than the ones that clearly are at the top of a draft for any team that is quarterback needy, that's with quarterbacks in the draft. Those are very valuable. But the first pick of the second night is absolutely a pick that most teams would want to have. You get the whole day to sit on it. You get the whole day to think about it. You also get the whole day of the phones ringing. I imagine your phone was still ringing off the hook to be trading out of that spot, too.
Yeah, as you know, that's a popular pick.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You hold control of you're in the driver's seat of that round, so to speak. And there's a lot of people trying to get up into either the bottom third of the first round or the top part of the second round because of exactly what you said. All of us, GMs, head coaches, all control freaks, type A personalities that want to get that player, or we think that player can make the difference on our teams. So it is a good position to be in, and we were in it.
A few minutes left with the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Sean McDermott. I've got your schedule to pop up on the screen right here. When you first saw this a couple weeks ago, middle of May, you thought what when you first saw this?
Like we do every year, all the respect in the world for our opponents. And we'll get to that part, but right now we've got to really focus on the here and now, which is, as I said, winning the day, putting our focus in the present moment, and really getting a feel for who we are as a team and how we can bring this thing together. But
you like a Week 12 bye? Again, I know you have no control over it, but is that to your preference? Week 12?
I would say it's not bad overall, but again, we have absolutely no control over it. So I'm not gonna be one to call the league and say, hey, can we move this around a little bit?
Yeah, right. Well, you're not going to get
like anything else. Just like the way the schedule lays out with the opponents, the teams are going to play, where we're going to play. I think we have the first 4 out of 6, I believe, on the road. It is what it is, right? We move on and we get ourselves ready to go.
What's your opinion? Because again, this hasn't been done yet, but it's out there that the Players Association is putting together a proposal to reconfigure the way teams do business on the field in the non-playing season leading up to training camp, where on-field OTA work would maybe be centralized into a period in June leading up to a ramp-up period directly into a training camp in July into August. Do you like that concept, Coach?
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone's always going to have their sides of the story or the positions that they think are best for what's best for them. That's why they call it a negotiation, right? So
right.
Those things will work themselves out in time, and I trust that the powers that be will get it done for the betterment of everyone involved.
But you must have an opinion. Right, Sean, you're sitting there. You must have an opinion. You want to, as a coach, you might have an idea or two what's best for you and your program. Come on. What do you have?
Come on, Rich.
No, but honestly,
I have an. You know what I have an opinion on?
What do you have an opinion on?
Is the 40-yard dash that you run.
We're not talking about my training regimen. We're talking about the training regimen of the Buffalo Bills that could potentially be affected by a plan that's in front of maybe the commissioner of the NFL soon. You know what I mean? That's where I'm going.
Yeah. Hey, I trust that the powers that be, Commissioner Goodell and the leaders at the top will make sure that they make the best decisions for the betterment of the league and the great product that we have. So I understand where you're coming from. I understand everyone's angst over it. And to be quite honest, I do have my own angst over it, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think they're really going to care what I say in this matter. But, yeah, they'll figure it out.
Okay. So what is your opinion of my 40-yard dash then, Coach? What do you think? What I got?
I think you've got tremendous short area bursts. And look at at this form. Like, we've been working a lot on speed around here.
Yes.
I mean, you're really like hand in the pocket type of. I mean, that's Carl Lewis-esque.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right?
Yep. I agree. I have that feeling too, but the short area burst is like 1 yard. That's my burst, unfortunately. Gravity is my problem.
Is what yard did that come in?
The 1 yard line?
Yeah.
That's it.
That was it? The start or the finish?
Well, I have a different sense of everybody eats, Sean. You know what I mean? Like, that's my problem. That's my issue from the very start. But last one for you. What's the dodgeball stuff? I saw this. What's going on with the dodgeball? What'd you do?
Yeah. Well, we just try and integrate some things once in a while to break up the off season, helping our players enjoy some quote unquote conditioning exercises and compete a little bit. And it's fun to watch these guys. I mean, this is something as simple as dodgeball that we've all played since elementary school.
Yes.
And you watch these professional athletes, look at the looks on their faces.
Intense.
These guys
intensity.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is fun to watch. I'll tell you that.
We're gonna put
personalities come out.
Yep. Leadership
comes out. It's an interesting, call it 30, 45 minutes.
You break down the film later on. Is that what you're saying? To see who's digging?
Yeah. I mean, whatever it's the cool thing is you're able to mix up offense, defense, special teams. And I mean, sometimes you got to separate guys because it gets so competitive.
Yeah. We should put this on the Ocho. You know what I mean? Like, you do that. I don't know if you saw dodgeball. At least they're not throwing wrenches, Sean.
I can't imagine getting hit by a dodgeball from Josh Allen.
Seriously, Josh, I wouldn't want him.
Yeah. I'm on his team.
Pegging me as a good one. I wouldn't want him throwing a dodgeball at me at all. Look at him.
No, we make the quarterbacks go left-handed. They throw southpaw.
Okay. That's only right.
Okay. Next level. Coach, thanks for the time. Really appreciate you taking the moments here in phase 3 or whatever phase you said you're in. And I appreciate that you join the program whenever you do. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Rich. All respect, buddy.
Right back at you. That's Sean McDermott, head coach of the Buffalo Bills, here on The Rich Eisen Show. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.